So you've gotten the email that is inviting you for an interview with the graduate panel or with your departmental panel. Congratulations. Now, let me tell you things to do before, during, and after your interview. Before your interview, this is your preparation stage. At this point, you need to prepare because you don't even know what they're going to ask you. Usually, questions like behavioral questions, structural questions are being asked. One tip to use here is the STAR method: the situation, the task, the action you took, and the result it led to. The STAR method. STAR. This is very important because with this, you can tell a story. You can tell them what happened, what you did, and the result it led to. Basically, the essence of this is that you are trying to communicate something to them, something about a characteristics that you have and that's an advantage to you, something about how you are learning, something about the things you've done in the past, or something about what you are currently doing. However, in my case, this was not the issue, or this was not the case with me. I was asked purely research questions. And by research questions, I mean what publications did I have? What conferences have I attended? In my research area, what popular author do I know about? Which of their articles have I read? And what did I learn from that article? And how does that article reflect or guides my own research interests? Purely research questions. So this leads me to my next point. While you are preparing, be flexible with your preparation. Do not take anybody's advice as the concrete advice. So while I'll tell you that my own asked me for purely research questions, maybe yours can say demonstrate something for us. Maybe yours can say, well, I don't know if you're a musician, maybe yours can say, let's hear you sing. Let's see you draw. Something, a demonstration. Or it could just be, what have you done in a situation like this? And then you need to tell them a story about what you have done and what it led to. So while you are preparing, be very flexible. Now, during your interview, this means this is the D Day. You need to make sure that your environment is well lit, quiet, and that your internet has been set up right. One thing though is if you are having internet issues or technical issues, do not hesitate to communicate this with them and ask them to please be patient with you. They would always understand. We do not pray for it to happen anyways, but they usually always understand. So yeah. Another thing is you need to be professional. And this professionalism ranges from the way you look to the way your environment is, to how you respond, to your smile, to how you even talk. All right. So it's not just about looking good, you also need to communicate that you are professional. During your interview, do not give them a yes or a no response and wait for them to ask you a follow up question. They may not have that patience and they may not even tell you. Here is what I mean. Have you ever been in a situation where you collaborated with your teammates and you say, yes, yes, what? So, this is what you should do. You elaborate on that response. Yes, I have. Actually, in the last place where I worked as an assistant supervisor. This means that I had to report most of my duties to a supervisor every Friday. And what I usually do is because I have about four people under me, I'll usually hold a meeting with them maybe 2 days before that meeting with my supervisor. And we would sit down and collaborate on ways to move forward in the department. For example, we particularly handled a project that had to do with research design and providing a solution to a client, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But you get the point. The point is elaborate and then tell them what it led to. It led to increase in productivity. Clients were happy. We had more sales, whatever, really. But don't give them a yes or no answer. Another thing is with the Americans, honesty is key. So you have to be very honest. You have to be consistent. Do not lie. Usually they know, especially if you said something different in your statement of purpose and then you come to say something different in maybe your personal statement and then during your interview you're saying something different because you are lying. You cannot keep track of that thing that you have said. You need to be consistent. You need to have your story, and your story does not have to really be complicated. So be honest during your interview. While we are talking about being honest, you need to be yourself. And when I say be yourself, I mean be your very best self. There is always a better version of you. But then, whatever response you give to them, make sure you tie it back to what is in it for you. For example, let's say they ask you a question about collaboration. When you are done answering whatever you are answering, tie it to say, this is one of the things that I hope to find or to get when I work with so and so research lab at your institution. You've let them know that, yes, I have done this in the past, but I am also looking forward to this. And so you are kind of refreshing their mind to know that this is our candidate. Another thing is do not keep your answers too long. Keep it as short as 60 seconds to 2 minutes, depending. If you feel that your answer is going to be too long, you could pause and ask them, do I continue? And usually they'll say yes. Or they'll cut you short and ask you the next question. But as much as possible, keep your answers short. Speak confidently. I know we've talked about that in professionalism, but speaking confidently means do not be nervous. Speak clearly. If you do not hear them, do not be afraid to say, excuse me, or can you repeat that? Or I did not hear you. Can you repeat that? You know, be confident in such a way that they know that you believe in yourself. Because, like I would always say, you are the best person to sell yourself. So your confidence should reflect in that manner. Now you are through with your interview. What next? You want to just be waiting? No. Send them a thank you email. Tell them thank you for taking out the time to interview you. Usually do this within 24 hours or less, but do not let it extend. Tell them thank you. If you know everybody's email on that panel, you could do a blind copy and send to them. However, I would advise you send to them personally, addressing each of them personally. This just kinds of keeps your memory afresh in their hearts. And in your thank you email, you need to reiterate some of the conversations you already had in the past or during the interview. Reiterate on those conversations and tell them again, these are the values that you are bringing to the table, to the research lab, to the professor. These are the values that you are trying to communicate, and this is what you are looking out for during the program. Finally, keep praying while you wait. It is true that you have put in all the efforts, but we know that it's not by what we have just done. So you need to, before have prayed, during be praying, and after pray. I know this might sound cliche, but look, we have seen people who have prepared so hard, but yet no results, and you don't want to be part of them. So, yes, pray while you wait. And I hope that you ace that interview and you move on to the next step, which is to go for your visa processing, basically. So, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.